Hey guys, Scar9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video we are going over an absolutely massive amount of information that we just got from Bungie regarding future updates and the progression of Destiny 2 to become an even better game and communication going forward with Bungie. Now I'm so excited for this. If you guys were in my live stream, you know that these are some of the biggest changes we have seen regarding the Destiny franchise literally since Destiny 1 launched. They're making some pretty big and really good changes here, and it really makes me think that they legitimately care about how we are enjoying the game. And that is something that personally means a lot to me, especially with some of these prior controversies going on in the gaming industry. It's very good to know that Bungie actually does care. Now, I'm very confident that you guys are going to like a lot of these changes, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, as always, the original blog post will be linked down below, so if you have some free time, I very much encourage you guys going through it, reading it yourselves, but we're going to be hitting pretty much every one of those updates in this video. So the first thing that I really want to start off with, because I am so utterly excited for it, is that they are adding a new weapon tier, or a new type of legendary weapon, called Masterworks. Now, legendary weapons after the update will have some percentage of a chance to drop as what is referred to a masterwork weapon. This is actually really cool because it rewards players who grind the game more often to have these slight additional bonuses that regular players won't have. Now, these have a couple of very awesome things. First off, they have additional weapon stats that can be re-rolled. So things like having faster reload speed, I imagine a slightly faster fire rate, maybe better handling as well. Small perk bonuses like these will be supplied by upgrading your weapon to a Masterworks version. In addition, these weapons feature stat tracking, meaning you will be able to see how many kills you have gotten with your weapon if it is a Masterworks variant, and then you will also be able to generate orbs on multi-kills for you and for your teammates. Meaning that if you do manage to get these quick kills in succession, you will be able to get closer to your super and help your teammates get closer to theirs. Now, how do you get Masterworks variants of these legendary weapons? Well, they actually drop from every loot source that legendaries can drop from. If you have a Uriel's Gift, there is some percentage chance that it will drop as a Masterworks variant, and you can tell because whenever you scroll over the weapon card, it will have gold lace on it, which is really cool. Now, what happens if you have a weapon that you really like right now, but it is just a regular legendary weapon? Well, if you are out playing Destiny and you manage to get a Masterwork variant weapon of any type, you can actually dismantle it to get materials that will enable you to upgrade your pre-existing legendaries into a Masterworks variant, which is really cool. And like I said, you get all of these really awesome bonuses, and these small stat bonuses are actually able to be re-rolled, which kind of adds to the feeling of not static rolls on these weapons. Essentially, it is a way to give players who play the game a little bit more a small advantage and a cool little trophy of their playtime. Now, the next thing that they are doing, they are adding armor ornaments from doing all sorts of things all over the game. So the specific armor sets that will be getting these ornaments are the Vanguard set, the Crucible set, the Trials of Osiris set, Iron Banner, Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, New Monarchy, and finally the brand new Raid armor set from the Leviathan Eater of Worlds. Now, in all of these activities, you will be able to complete specific objectives to unlock ornaments for that armor set. For instance, they showed us the Iron Banner helmet. You unlocked the ornament for that by getting 25 wins in Iron Banner. In addition to this, you will be able to buy most armor and weapon sets directly from the vendor by using some combination of legendary shards and their respective faction tokens. But either way, this is a huge step in the right direction. We no longer have to rely on RNG to get these really awesome armor sets that we like. We can buy them straight out and then earn the ornaments for the sets, which is really cool. I do believe that they mentioned that the ornaments will still be limited to the season. So if you are going to want the ornaments offered in Season 2, you will have to unlock those ornaments while Season 2 is currently active within Destiny 2. So that's pretty awesome. The next thing that they are changing is Xur. So first off, the huge change, 3 of coins are back, which a lot of you might sigh at initially, but it's not as bad as it originally sounds. This actually functions extremely similarly to a Fireteam token, as it provides a 4-hour buff to boost exotic drop rates from all activities across the board. However, unlike in Destiny 1, where there is a crazy complicated system of stacking buffs, there is only one flat continuous buff across all 4 hours of gameplay. Now, you will be able to buy them from Xur. They did not say for how much or how many you can buy a week, but I imagine it will be quite pricey. Now, the next thing is that you will be able to get one guaranteed exotic that you do not have in your collection from Xur every single week from an item called Faded Engrams. Now this will be able to be purchased for 97 legendary shards, and like I said, it will go through your account, see which exotics you don't have, and it will be guaranteed to drop one of those, which is actually a very, very cool change. I like that. Now going along the theme of giving legendary shards more of a use, they actually added stuff to pretty much every vendor. So the first thing, you are now able to buy specific mods from Banshee for mod components and the legendary shards. In addition, if you have extra rare mods laying around, you can dismantle them for extra glimmer and a chance to get mod components, which then you can buy specific legendary mods from Banshee for. The next thing is that Zavala and Shaxx will be selling all of their armor like I mentioned previously, but they will also be selling new consumables that grant additional rewards at the end of strikes and Crucible matches, and they said that this has a huge range of what the rewards can be. They can be faction tokens, or get this, it can make it so that every single person in the match, so all 8 people for a Crucible or all 3 people in a strike, will be rewarded with an exotic. And like I said, this applies to everyone, so if one of the 8 people in a Crucible match are running it, you all have a chance to get additional rewards, which is really awesome. Now that is the great majority of the big changes they're making. There's one more. They mentioned that they are heavily reducing the chest and resource cooldown things. So if you guys don't know, if you are walking around patrol and you are quickly opening patrol chests, there's actually a cooldown that will happen where you won't get rewards after a couple in quick succession. Well, they actually mentioned that they are pretty much getting rid of this, or at least a great portion of this, and whenever the cooldown is in effect, you will no longer get 0% rewards, you will get 30%. So you will kind of be able to limit yourself and know when this cooldown is active. I still think it would be the smartest move to completely remove it, but this is definitely better than nothing. So those are the great majority of the changes that are coming with this update. Now keep in mind, some of these will go live on December 5th, and some will go live the following week on December 12th. If you want the specific dates for each one, they are explicitly labeled in the blog post in the link down below. I personally didn't want to throw that information in the video because it might be a little bit confusing for people, so I will have the resource down there if you are interested, but essentially in the following 2 weeks, we will be getting all of these amazing changes. Now, aside from all of these guaranteed changes, they actually mentioned all of the things that are on their working block, but they haven't been able to make it to yet. So let's go ahead and talk about some of those. So the first one is that they are working on better incentives for players to complete prestige activities. If you guys have been around my channel for a long time, you know this is my biggest pet peeve with Bungie right now. For doing the prestige raid, you pretty much get a newly ornamented armor set, and that's it. And that really aggravates me as a player who wants to be able to do these things every week for additional rewards. So I'm really hoping that they get the system fine-tuned very, very soon. Next, they are also working on additional rewards for adventures in Lost Sectors. If you guys have been following my Curse of Osiris coverage, you know that they are re-adding the Heroic Strike playlist that grants additional strike rewards back into the game with that expansion, but they also mentioned that they wanted to do something with adventures in Lost Sectors, but they have not found out what they want to do quite yet. Personally, I'm hoping we get some sort of unique rewards from these activities. For instance, maybe you're going around on IO and doing different Lost Sectors. I'm hoping that you actually get a chance at some exclusive IO gear that can only be obtained through the adventures or the Lost Sectors, but we'll just have to wait and see what they actually do. The next thing is that private matches are on the slate for early 2018. They said this is one of their top priorities because obviously there's a huge amount of the competitive community that really wants them in the game. And then the next thing for the competitive players is that ranked PvP is also one of their top priorities going into the new year, meaning that potentially we could have an entire ranked playlist within the Crucible fit with leaderboards sometime in early 2018, which is really, really cool to hear. And then after that, they talked about revamping the mod system to make it more impactful on your armor and weapons, as well as more interesting to the player. So what I personally hope they do is that they expand this system to actually account for a small subset of perks as well. So if I want a hand cannon to have Firefly, I should be able to get a mod for Firefly and put that on my hand cannon to grant it that additional perk that really doesn't change the gameplay too much. And then the final thing that they said they are working on is the emote wheel, and we should be able to have that sometime relatively soon. Of course, they have to design and code an entire UI around this system, so I would expect more information on it semi-soon, but not this year definitely. Now there is one more detail that Bungie mentioned, and they specifically said that they are going to be keeping the lines of communication way more open now. They openly acknowledge that they have not been communicating with us enough, and they said that they hope to update this list every couple of weeks or once every month, which is absolutely something I love to hear. That has always been one of my biggest complaints regarding Bungie, is that they don't seem, or they haven't previously seemed to have a very open line of communication with us, the player base. They have really been committed to doing it and providing us more feedback and providing more acknowledgement of our feedback on a more regular basis, which is something I'm extremely happy about. So yeah, we just went through all of the brand new stuff being added with the Curse of Osiris and in the foreseeable future for Destiny 2. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff, but let me know what you're most excited for down in the comment section below. Personally, I cannot wait for the Masterworks weapons. As a player who plays an absolute hell ton of this game, I feel like personally this brand new tier of weapons will give me a whole new sense of being rewarded for playing the game. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you're interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed to more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.